Hey peeps, Percolating, and we are back with another Better Perks, and boy oh boy, this past month has been a bit of a bitch to say the least. So let me start off with some of the good shit that happened, and some of the positives of the fucking month, shall we? Let's start off with the fact that I went and got to go to Wikiwachi and have a good ass time. Bro, it was awesome. I went with friends from work, and they're really cool. I met them through work, but they really have become good friends of mine. If I could say, I think I could say so. I hope they say the same for me. But it was really cool. I had a good time. I brought my camera and some other shit, and we had a good ass time. So go ahead and check out some of the footage that I got for you guys.
내 성격은 half and half no 공인으로서의 노력하는 life no 큰 욕구는 자제하는 중 no 늘 공상에 차오르는 숨 no 편히 울고 싶은 그 I know 미친 듯 놀고 싶은 그 I know 사랑에 설레고 싶은 그 I know yeah I know I know I know cause me 나 물고기처럼 걸려봤겠지 상대 갈증으로 인한 욕망이란 그물들 yeah 보편적인 심리적 도피나라고 헤쳐나갈 수는 없는 법 yeah 나 현실 거부부만 부적은 그 어떤 것들도 아냐 love my room 한 번쯤 다른 나의 sing dream 그래 보고 싶은 거야 도화지 dream slam 저기저 경계선을 넘어 느껴보는 거야 앨리스가 빠진 구멍처럼 호그와트게 하는 것처럼 신기루의 세계일 거야 그리고 내 세상일 거야 상상 그대로일 거야 넌 영원하진 않을 거야
It was really dope. It was really dope. I had a fun fucking time with them. As always, there's always something good to talk about in the Better Perks, right? Something's got to make me a better human, and well, I think I have one for this month. As you guys know, I'm a very self-reflective person. I take my day-to-day, my moment-to-moment, my minute-to-minute, my second-to-second decisions, and almost immediately after being made, I turn around and decide, was that the best course of action? Was that the best thing that I could have said? Was that the thing that made the most sense? What could I have done better? Is there a better way to have handled the situation? I am very self-reflective. You see that when I play games. You see that when I stream. You see it when I talk. Just generally speaking, I'm always very critical of myself, but not in a bad way. My thought process is always to self-improve. I don't have a set religion type, but I do take a lot of thought and theology from Eastern thought processes, where it is very much a self-reflective, self-improvement type of thought process. It's why anime sticks so well with me. It's why I really feel some sort of connection with Japan in that sense and regard. It's because I love that thought process of I can make myself better every day, and in doing so make myself a better person. And in doing so, that is a thing that I seek daily, is to be better in every thought. Now, I don't want to get too far off into that side tangent of theology and religions, because that's not the point of the video. But I do want to talk about this thing that my self-reflection in that moment brought back. I was talking to a coworker. I was telling her how I wasn't sleeping well, and she asked why, and I told her it's the anxiety that I usually I'm plagued with. I've had anxiety for a very long time, not diagnosed, but it's very, very obvious. I don't need a doctor to tell me that I'm anxious. I don't. I've had anxiety and panic attacks in the past. I may not have been diagnosed and given drugs for it, but for fuck's sake, we can all understand that anxiety is a real thing. That in itself is a real talk that I think I'd like to do at some point, but not now. She asked me what was plaguing me, and I said it was just anxiety and having a bad time, a bit of depression thrown in there, and she was very shocked. the reason she was shocked is because when I go to work, I smile every day. Unless I am in extreme critical pain, I smile every fucking day. And it throws people for a loop when they find out that smile's not always as true as they seem. She was very concerned. She was very blown and taken aback. Because when I said anxiety and depression riddles me regularly, she says, I never would have guessed. And to her point, I don't like people to know. I tend to very much keep that to myself. I don't like to plague other people. I don't like to throw other people into my problems, if that makes sense. I try to self-work on them, and very few people know of how deep some of this actually runs. I told her how I've been sleeping wrong, how I haven't been sleeping well, caused by stress, caused by anxiety, and just so people understand, when I say anxiety is causing me sleep issues, I already have issues when I sleep. I tend to move a lot in my sleep, wake myself up and can't sleep, and it's really bad, and it causes insomnia. It's why I can stay up for super late until my body says, no, you can't do this anymore, until I fall asleep. People see me on Discord and doing stuff until 5 o'clock in the morning. It's because I'm up most of the time. As people know, I started drinking recently. I don't say drink underage, but my parents are okay with it as long as they are able to keep a view on me, or someone is going to be keeping a view on me. They're fine with it. As long as I'm in a responsible environment. I have drank, and I've been drinking at least just not like ridiculously, but I've been I drink a beer before I go to sleep. I'll drink a beer or two before I lay down because it just calms my body and I don't twitch as much. I found out drunk sleep is one of the best sleeps you can ever get, but that's just a whole different side note. But I can use drinking to calm myself, to not have the anxiety that I feel regularly, and that's not good. But I'm not overdoing it. I'm not drinking to get drunk every night. I drink literally one or two and then go to sleep, and it's bad. That's a bad thing. It's just because it means my anxiety is taking some hold on me that I'm not able to control without other means. I don't like that, and that's usually a thing, and that's actually the real precipice of this entire video. I have an issue with using other things and other people for help. I don't like it. I don't fucking like it. I don't like calling onto other people and say, hey, can you do this? Hey, will you do this? Hey, I don't like it. It's very anti-me. I, for a very long time, have done things on my own. I've moved throughout, I've learned things, and I've grown my own person and personality and thought process on my own. Don't get me wrong, people influence me. People have given me bits of advice that I take and put into consideration. But when it comes to the major bulk of it, I love my parents, but they didn't raise me in the same way. I argue with my parents about a lot of different things and thoughts because I don't agree. And I'm not saying that everyone needs to. I'm not saying that it's a better thing. I'm not saying it's a good thing or bad thing or what have you. It is a thing, and that is objectively a thing. A lot of the thought processes I've gained are on my own, which is good and bad because I can be by myself sometimes, but sometimes that's a good thing. But it also just, the way I do things, you can see I do it just a little bit differently. I get it all the time. People look at me at work and say, hey, why are you doing that? And it's because it's I follow the rule to the T on my own accord without asking for help unless I absolutely need it. I'm a server, but we do have the server's assistants, and they can help out if I were to call on them, but I don't call on them unless I absolutely need them. If they help me, I appreciate it, but I don't force their hand to help me unless I'm yo, I need this, I got to. And even then, it's only when it's absolutely necessary. When I have 10 tables going around all needing something at the exact same time and I only have 2 hands and can only walk so much, and it can only run so fast, that's when I call on. I'm like, yo, get me this, give me this, and at that point it's a whole different story anyway, because usually I'm not the only one looking like that. But if that's the case, I'm very much the type of person to live and breathe and do my own thing. I like to find the solace in the power of being able to say that I did that. And I have to say, part of it comes from a complex that I got from my parents. And again, I'm not shit talking my parents. Like, I'm not talking shit. Like, make sure we understand this. I love my parents. They did so much for me, and they really have raised me to be a good person. I do appreciate the fuck out of them. My thing is that my dad is so well known throughout the city that it was impossible for me to go anywhere without me being related to him. So for a long time, the first job I ever got was because he worked for the organization that I ended up working for. And he literally got the job for me the day after I turned 16. Like, the day I turned 16, and the next day I went into an interview and got a job. My entire thought process for the rest of that year, or the rest of the time that I was there, was prove to them that my dad didn't keep this job. I kept this job. After that, when I got a second job, now serving, my entire thought process was, no, I'm not asking for anything from dad. I will use references that I earned on my own accord from people who didn't know that I was related to my dad, and I will bring that to this restaurant or whatever I end up doing, and I will get this job myself. And I proved it to myself that I was able to get a job on my own, which was a huge confidence booster, and I needed it. I did, because I feel like I rely too much on other people in ways that I may or may not. It might be a view thing. I might feel like I'm too reliant on someone else, but no, it's really just me. And sometimes it is just me, and sometimes I feel like I actually am, and maybe I am. I don't know. When I got this job that I currently work, it was a big confidence booster, and it showed that I can do things on my own. My entire thing has been that I need to show my own worth and show my own salt. It's a constant battle I fight, where I want to use other people to like help further me, but I also don't want to use other people to further me. I want to do on my own as much as possible, but that is fucking impossible. No way, no how can I do everything that I would love to do without help. It's not a thing that I am able to do. My dream in life of owning a production company and making creative content for the rest of my life that is paid for, that dream is completely bullshit if I don't have anyone else on my side. I have to have people I can trust to hold my cameras, and people I trust to make my deadlines, to make my dates, to edit my footage, to if I don't have that, it's impossible for me to have that production company that I dream of, which is the catch-22. I don't like it. I don't like having to put that much faith in other people. I really don't, and it's not a all people are bad thing, but it's a I get screwed over I've gotten screwed over many a times, and then my little barbarian brain's just like, nah fam, you got screwed over, don't do it again. Which, logically speaking, you're right, don't do it again. But also, anti-logic, you need it. Humans are naturally social creatures. We live in hives to create better societies in our own mind that we all work together in. It doesn't work if I can't not be social and work with others to get to where I want. It's impossible, because it's the way that humans work. It's the way that our society works. It's the way that I should work, but I don't. And this is an issue that I see in myself. I'm not gonna lie here, I don't have a beautiful set, wrap this up in a bow solution. I don't have a way of getting through this one. This is just one of those ones that life is gonna have to teach me by beating the fuck out of me a couple times. And, well, I'm at least round 2 right now, so let's go. There's no perfect ending for this one, but maybe you guys share similar sentiments. If you do, let me know down in the comments. I'd love to talk to you guys. Hit me up in Discord if you guys want to talk more about this. I I don't mind talking about this type of stuff, and there's tons of other people who have all sorts of cool things, stories to tell. I do honestly suggest joining Discord. It's a really cool community that I love, and I am growing, and I am having so much fun in there. And then also, if you haven't already, check out my Twitch channel. It's where I stream Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays most times. This Thursday, actually, today that this video is going up, I didn't get to stream because I had to get called into work. Yeah. Nonetheless, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this Better Perks, and it's been real. It's been fun. It's been real fun, guys. I'm gonna be a better perk. Be better with me.